This morning, I was sorting out my supplements and taking out my daily doses, and it occurred to me I've never spoken about my favorite of all of my supplements, and that currently is my phospholipid complex. I do worry about discussing supplements, as I don't wish to encourage self-prescription, but I do like to educate you about what else is available. Please know all supplements come with cautions, interactions, and contraindications. So if today's information does interest you, please speak to your healthcare provider about whether it's suitable for you or not. Phospholipids have many health benefits. They help with mental focus, brain function, energy production, healthy aging, cellular health, detoxification, and more. If this interests you, stay tuned. You're listening to Menopause Natural Solutions, episode 129, Brain Fog, Fatigue, and Cellular Health. Welcome to Menopause Natural Solutions, your podcast for all things peri-menopause, menopause, and beyond. Stay tuned as your host, naturopath Jennifer Harrington, explains how to use natural therapies to find your ultimate health and happiness during your transition. Hello ladies, welcome back. Today's topic, cellular health, is an important one in regard to healthy aging. It's not specifically linked to menopause, although I have seen research comparing pre-menopausal women to post-menopausal women, but I believe this is more to do with the age difference than the hormonal changes. But as we are aging, it's important to have this conversation. Did you know the human body has over 37 trillion cells? Each of these cells has a membrane. The membrane has been nicknamed the brain of the cell, as it controls a lot of what is happening for the cell. You need a healthy membrane if you want a healthy cell. Within the cell, you have different types of organelles. You might remember some of these from high school biology. Things like the mitochondria, the endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, etc. These also have a cellular membrane responsible for looking after their health. Many of us, unfortunately, with our modern lifestyles, encounter many substances that damage our cell membranes. Damage here not only creates accelerated aging, but can be linked with a huge array of other health concerns that are commonly experienced at this stage of life. Things like fatigue and brain fog. So if we want to repair and promote cellular health, we need to start by addressing the membrane. Within your membrane, you have a phospholipid bilayer. In technical terms, phospholipids are a class of lipids whose molecule has a hydrophilic or water-loving head containing a phosphate group attached usually by a glycerol to two hydrophobic or water-fearing tails derived from fatty acids. These tails typically have an omega-3, either an EPA or a DHA molecule integrated as part of the phospholipid. The phosphate group can be modified with simple organic molecules such as choline, ethanolamine, or serine. The change modifiers give the phospholipid different properties, preferred locations, and roles within a cell. I think of the phospholipid membrane as a channel. It holds the structure of the cell, provides storage of fuel, but most importantly, it provides a communication link and allows passage of nutrients in and toxins out. Data suggests that phospholipid reduction starts at the age of 20, so by midlife, your cells might be in need of a top-up. Certain genes also play a role here, and this may be one of the reasons why I love this supplement, but you may not. You see, I have a homozygous genetic SNP called PEMT, or phosphatidylethylamine N-methyltransferase. What a mouthful. Let's stick with PEMT. What this means is that both of my parents passed to me a difficulty in creating phosphatidylcholine, the primary phospholipid. Phosphatidylcholine is important for cell membrane integrity and membrane function. I've heard Dr. Chris Shade refer to it as the master cell fortifier. Over 50% of our phospholipids are in this form. Although it can be found throughout the body, it has an affinity for the digestive system, the liver, and brain. In the digestive system, it can be found in your gut lining and improve the communication between the gut and the brain. It helps with bile production and enhances liver function. Studies have linked inadequate phosphatidylcholine with the development of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and adding it back in with supplementation is a treatment strategy for this condition. In the brain, it optimizes neurological function and neurotransmitter signaling. 3 other random facts about phosphatidylcholine is that it can be helpful in lowering elevated homocysteine levels. Elevated homocysteine is linked in with cardiovascular disease and cognitive issues. It does this by encouraging homocysteine to be recycled into methionine. It can help reduce allergenic responses by keeping histamine inside the cell. While we were on that note, I saw some interesting information about phosphatidylcholine also protecting against mold exposure. Here in Australia, we have really seen more than our fair share of rain this year. And mold-related illness are on the rise. The information I saw suggested that mycotoxins from mold cause illness by compromising the cell membrane. Supplementing with phosphatidylcholine can protect and restore the cell membrane by helping to detoxify the mycotoxins out of the cell. The final health benefit I wanted to mention was its ability to reduce total and LDL cholesterol. Other forms of phospholipids include phosphatidylethylamine, and this is the second most abundant phospholipid. It is found in the membrane surrounding your mitochondria. It's vital for energy production. It also has an affinity for nerve cells and your myelin sheath. Phosphatidylinositol supports brain health and function. Deficiency may play a role in insulin resistance and blood sugar issues. Phosphatidylserine has an affinity for brain cell membranes and is needed for healthy brain function. It's essential for a healthy memory and our ability to learn and concentrate. It also plays a role in stress management by helping to regulate levels of cortisol, one of our stress hormones. It also helps to foster a happy mood. With all the different phospholipids, and there are even more than we discussed today, it's hard to get adequate amounts, especially as we age. Certain genetic SNPs also play a role in being deficient, and women with vegetarian or vegan diets may really have to work hard to get adequate amounts, as the main food sources are eggs, organ meats, and seafood. Luckily, smaller amounts can be sourced from sunflower seeds and soy lecithin. Well, that's it from me today. I hope you've enjoyed learning about the importance of cellular health. If you have been enjoying my podcast, I would really love to hear from you. It's been ages since I've asked for any ratings or reviews, so if you have been enjoying it, let me know. If there are any other topics you would like to hear about, let me know. So that's it from me today. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to Menopause Natural Solutions. This podcast contains general information about menopause. It is provided as a guide, and it is not intended to replace medical advice. Opinions of guests are their own, and this podcast does not endorse or accept responsibility for statements made by guests. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please share it with a friend.